What's going on? About to get started in a second. Just about to send the link out. Let me send this link out. Then we're going to go ahead and get started. Hey, what's going on? So literally at 2:30, things already started ripping. So I was going to look at Euro JPY, but it's already ripping. So I'm going to see what the next candlestick looks like to see if we're going to enter it. Because again, it literally started ripping this candlestick, as you can see. So I'm going to see what the next 5-minute candlestick does to see if it'll be safe to enter that. Because I think it's just dropping. Let's see here. A lot of pairs are actually just ripping right now. Just like GN, like literally 5 minutes into this candlestick, and things are just moving. So I want to see if they're going to retest the next candlestick, because things are moving pretty quick right now. But on a good note, because things are moving pretty quick, Euro AUD is pushing again. I want to see if it's going to break past the previous low, because we see once, twice after it hit this level, it bounced back up. But now it looks like it's going to try to push through it. So we're going to see what that's going to do. But I'm going to wait till the next candlestick to see a retracement, because literally as soon as this 2:30 candlestick started, everything started ripping down, which isn't terrible, but I was literally starting to stream it, so I kind of missed the key entry. Like literally everything's ripping. So I want to see if it's going to be a retest candle, the next 15-minute candlestick, to see if we can enter some of these trades. And if it's a retest candle, we might jump in some trades a little bit early. Because I see a lot of pairs I like what they're doing. AUD CAS looking good. Yeah, we always in here first, and I appreciate it. Make sure to hit that like button as well, because we're going to see if we can find some good setups right now. I like how AUD CAS looking. We're in an overall downtrend, retesting this level, and it's dropping as we speak. So I might look for a sell setup possibly for AUD CAD, depending on what this next candlestick looks like. I might try to set up sell. Not gonna be too crazy of a stop. Yeah, Euro JPY just ripped on me. So I'm gonna see if it's gonna retest the next 15-minute candlestick, because it's still early. I'm not tripping too much about it. This was just a trade idea because I had the Zoom call with my members yesterday, but I'm just going to clear that for now because things aren't looking like that as of now. And I think it's just shooting down. Yeah, I'm going to wait for a retest because it's going to retrace at some point, whether that's right when London session starts or New York session. I'm going to try to get a best of an entry as possible for that one, because that thing's just ripping. So I'm just going to leave that be. I like how some of these other pairs are looking too. Let's see what AUD JPY is doing, because I was looking at this earlier too. And yeah, literally this candlestick, the 30-minute, everything just decided to rip. So that is fine, because we still have London and New York to try to find some opportunities. So I'm going to wait for some retests to see if we can enter, because literally everything just started ripping at 2:30. So I'm going to keep an eye on these pairs. Just try to see if there's a possible entry for on the retest. Because literally everything I was looking at, this 15-minute candlestick is ripping. Which is craziness. But that can also be a good sign that there is a lot of volume going into play. But I'm not about to enter on this. I'm going to wait to see if they retest to find the best opportunity. Now for the futures, US30 and stuff, I'm going to wait till it hits the bottom of the zone. Well, not hits the bottom, but breaks underneath the zone. And I want to see how the retest looks and possibly look for sells. I'm looking for that for US30 as well as NAS100. So I want to see if London or pre-New York, it will do that for us. US30 just broke underneath the zone, which is a good sign. So maybe we can look for some more possible sell setups for US30, which would be nice. Let's see here. I'll put the zone right there. Put it right there. That's what the zone's going to look like. But potential sell setups are looking good for US30. Which is also another reason why I'm not really too worried about those pairs, because it is a little bit too early for one to enter anyways, and there's plenty of time for it to retrace back for a possible re-entry. So I'm not tripping too much. But those that was in the live stream yesterday, y'all could have caught this move because I caught this trade live. We caught literally 8,000 pips in an hour. By the end of the day, we're up 32,000 plus pips. And if anyone was still holding that trade from yesterday, you're still blue in profit because, as you can see, did a little retest and it's dropping. This was the record for the signal room yesterday. First link in the description. But we ended the day 4-0. New Zealand CAD from the trade before the day before yesterday hit 79 pips. Oh, I messed up. That's a typo. One of these is supposed to be New Zealand JPY. I'm gonna fix that. Let me fix that right now. I just peeped that small little typo. Yeah, but everything's just dumping right now, which is craziness. So I'm just gonna look at. We got 5 minutes before the next candlestick arrives. So we're just gonna look at Euro AUD for a second. Because I'm still in this trade for that called yesterday. And that thing's just ripping. Like I said, this past 15 minutes, volume just hopped in the market and it's just making things drop, which isn't terrible. But yeah, that thing's just dropping down. So I could have entered on that, but this is a huge 15-minute candlestick. It's going to have to retrace and fill this up at some point. So I'd rather wait for the best opportunity available to me than to just try to chase a trade and jump into it. So while we're looking at this and waiting for the next candlestick to appear, I am going to, because everything just ripped, dude. That's kind of annoying, but it's part of the game. At least we're in this one still. But let me fix that typo in the free signal room, because that's saying New Zealand CAD twice. And one of them's supposed to be New Zealand JPY. So let me go ahead and fix that. JPY. Okay, so the first one is New Zealand JPY. The second one is New Zealand CAD. So while that's dropping, there we go. So I fixed it. So New Zealand JPY, we caught 79 pips. New Zealand CAD, we caught 76. Euro CHF, we caught 62 pips. Euro AUD, we caught 35 pips. Euro 30, caught over 32,200 pips. And like I said, it's still dropping as we speak. Depending on the next candlestick, I may or may not enter Euro 30, but it is very early into London session. So once we're in profit, I won't be as lenient as usual to go into drawdown. I'll just simply look for a re-entry if it is needed. Then we hit SPX. We caught this entire move down, and as you can see, it's retraced and potentially finished the move. Now, I'm personally not in this. I got wicked out. I closed when it did the retracement because it retraced pretty high up, almost halfway from our profits from down here. So I just closed the trade to secure my profits. Better safe than sorry. But that's the trades we took yesterday. End of the day 4-0. Total of 38,852 pips, which if you would have took all the trades, even on a 0.01 lot size, you could have made almost $400. A 0.1, you could have made 3 bands, almost 4 bands. 0.05, you could have made almost $2,000. So we made some decent money yesterday. And again, Euro AUD, I'm still in this trade. Euro CHF, hit all the TPs on the zone, and I closed here. But as you can see, it continued to rip, which is a good sign. But I closed personally 1 to 2, almost 1 to 3 risk to reward. But if anyone's still holding, that thing is now at a 1 to 5. But like I said, I closed right here, so it's just a 1 to 3. But that thing is still dumping as we speak, which is a good sign because we can potentially look for future setups. Now, Euro JPY is doing a slight retracement, but the way it's looking, I might just have to look for, if it keeps dumping, possibly entry here, or see how it reacts when it hits that zone, because that thing just shot down like crazy. So we're going to see what that's talking about. Like everything on the Euro dropped down. I was looking at some other pairs too, but everything just shot down at 230. So I'm going to see what opportunities we can find as soon as London starts. And if not, might just have to wait for some setups for New York, which isn't too big of a deal. I ain't tripping too much about that. Hey, what's good, Daniel? I see you in the chat. How you doing, man? We haven't spoken in a while. Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. So a new candlestick appeared. So I'm looking at AUDK. I like how this looks. So I might call this, depending on what this candlestick does. And here it is to retest. I'm still probably going to leave this alone because it's way too deep. The top of the zone was here. It already broke past this level. I was looking to enter at this level here off the retest. I literally looked to my left screen to get the live stream set up. I start the live stream and then everything just dumped. Because that thing literally went from 142.74 all the way. That thing literally dropped like 70 pips in 15 minutes, which is insane. But it is what it is. Okay, so I like how AUD is looking. Will this be the first trade for the day? Because we look down, we're under this level, which is good. Still has to fill this up. Let's see here. It's under this level. Shit, nothing much, just trading, trying to find some opportunities. I like how this is looking. Let's see. Are we going to enter a pre-London trade? Kind of like how this is looking, not going to lie. What's everything else doing? Everything's retracing like I figured it would. Yeah, this thing ripped too. This thing went crazy. This thing went from 9,300 to 9,230. So that thing dropped like about 70 pips as well in 15 minutes, which is insane. So price is correcting itself as I figured it would, even right here. So this is good too. So they're basically just giving us some good setups for London and New York, which I'm not complaining about. Which is actually good for us. Didn't push US30 NAS where I wanted it to go yet, but it's still early. I'm not tripping about that. Let's see here. Jerry's doing a nice retest, which is good. So we got some good potential setups for London and for New York. Now, when everything was shooting down, this thing shot up and now it's on top of this level of price, which is interesting. So usually when everything's dumping, oil's pushing up. So this is pretty normal. It's a little too far for me. I'd like to see it retest and come down to at least here or here before I enter. Even though it could continue to push up from right here, I still, of course, want to get an entry as close to the zone as possible. That way I'm in the least amount of drawdown as possible, because if price retraces, it's always most likely either going to go to the nearest level of price above the zone, or it's going to hit the zone and then come back. So I might just keep an eye on that and see what it decides to do, but it's a little too far gone for me to want to enter personally. So your JPY is retracing. Okay, so things are retracing good. That's good. Your AUD is not retracing as much, which is good. So it looks like it's going to stay underneath this level, and then potentially it's going to retest and potentially push back down. That'd be nice to see, but that's what it looks like it's trying to do. Now, New Zealand CAD, we called this trade 2 days ago. We caught half the daily candlestick down, caught the rest of the daily candlestick yesterday, then it retraced back to the zone. So I want to see if it's going to break under this level again and then possibly look for more sales, break past this previous low. That would be a good setup. I'm just going to wait till volume pushes in to see exactly what it wants to do. See, it's pushing. It broke under a little bit, but rejected back up, which is normal. So when volume picks up, I want to see what it's going to do. New Zealand JPY hit the bottom of the zone. So this next push, possibly New Zealand JPY setups. Let's see. ADCAD is doing that. So now it's just playing at this price level. It's tied 15-minute candlestick. So if it pushes back down, I might enter. But it looks like it's going to wait until London to even start the move. This is rejecting harshly off of this zone, which is cool. Let's see. AD New Zealand's in the middle of the zone. I'm going to leave that alone. Everything's retracing up, but those things ripped pretty far. So I might just have to wait till it goes to the next zone to possibly look for a setup for those pairs. But there are other pairs to look at and pay attention to. Aud Usd looks like it's about to break this next level, so I can potentially look for sell setups there, which would be cool. So that's when we look for Aud Usd. I want to see it already rejected off this wick once. It retested, as we can see here. I want to see if it's going to break under, and then look for potential sell setups, because on the overall time frame, it's been very bearish here. It's been a downtrend, broke past this previous low, and then when we zoom out, we can see for a very long time, since really February of last year, or you can say May of last year, whatever, it's been a very clear downtrend. Uptrend started again, if you want to look like a little bit smaller, but overall it's been a very consistent downtrend, especially here, downtrend, retrace, downtrend. So this could be like a higher low, lower low, I should say. But even with just paying attention to these from August to now, it's in a very clear downtrend. So who am I to try to look for buys when it's showing me to go for sales? So I'm just going to wait for the best sell setup and see if we're going to find some opportunities. If not London session, most likely New York, which is fine. It is the middle of the week, Wednesday, so not surprised to see volumes pushing in more than it was on Monday. But with that being said, I'm still keeping the same mindset. I'm still following the same rules and still waiting for the best setups to enter a trade. Because we're up for the week. We caught 38,000 pips yesterday. The day before, we caught, I think, like 20,000 pips. Lost no trades yesterday. I think we maybe lost one trade on Monday. I think all the trades hit TPs all the trades did hit TPs yesterday, and then we only lost one trade Monday. So we're literally up for the week. So there's no point in making any rash decisions. So SPX looks like it's still trying to push down, which is cool. Could have kept holding, but it is what it is. So I'm just gonna wait and see. I'm probably gonna leave SPX alone because it's in the middle of the zone. I don't see really. I mean, I could try to force a setup depending on if volume's really pushing. I could probably find an opportunity if I wanted to, but my main focus is future-wise. It's gonna be US30. It's gonna be NAS, and of course US30. But see, this is why I always like to wait for multiple candlesticks and multiple confirmations, because US30 after it hit the zone, it reacted and shot back up, just like how we see here. When it broke under, it shot back up. So I want to see again if it's going to start the move London session, or we're going to have to wait till pre-New York. Either way, I'm fine with it. Now Euro JPY is pushing back down, which is fine, because again, that thing shot down like a huge amount of pips. And if I would jump into it, what I'm thinking is, I always think best case scenario, I also think worst case, because again, we don't control the market. So you got to think about both. And you got to think about what's most likely to happen or what has a high probability of happening. And if I don't like the odds, I'm just going to simply stay out of it. We could have very much entered right here. We could have very much entered when it started to rip. But again, I'd rather look for a better setup where the entry is where I would like it to be, instead of trying to chase a trade like that. So I have no issue missing that trade. Again, we've seen many times, like even the US30 trade, we waited for the better entry. It retraced for us. We got a great entry at the top of the zone yesterday, and in literally an hour, that thing shot down and we caught 8,000 pips. So I have no issue. We're waiting to see if price comes to me. If price doesn't come to me, there's going to be a setup potentially elsewhere. And speaking of setups, I like how GJ is looking. It's doing a nice retracement, which is good. It's retracing right back to the top of the zone. So depending on what this next candlestick looks like, I could put it right here. Depending on what this next candlestick looks like, might go in for sales. So I already broke past these previous lows. It retraced after it hit this level, this wall, which is normal. It shot back up. 2 hours left in this 4-hour candlestick. 3 minutes left in the 1-hour candlestick. You can see this is a key level right here, because every time price is here, it rejects harshly multiple times. It kept doing that until this candlestick that pushed it up. Now we're bringing it back down, filling this candlestick up. So it could potentially, again, hit the middle of the zone, then retrace after it fills this candle up. But that's still a decent amount of pips to catch from right here even. So could be a good little opportunity there, because as we can see, there's no clear trend. There's a bunch of range and consolidation, because it's either going to be uptrend, downtrend, or it's going to be ranging. And this is one of those ranging situations. So this is where the zones come into play, because we can still try to find an opportunity, but you just got to keep in mind where it can surely reject on us, retrace on us, and where it's most likely to go. So I'd like to see it hit right here. We'll break past that really, because this is where it rejected when it first hit. So I'd like to see it break past this, possibly come down to here. But we will have to wait to see what it decides to do when London session starts, which is in 3 minutes. Euro JPY, I'm going to just stop looking at that, because I have no interest in that right now. Your AUD is still pushing. We're plenty of profit there. So we're going to be chilling for a couple minutes to see if there's any opportunities we can jump on. 80 CAD. Oh, 80 CAD actually shot back down. Okay. So I like how this is looking. So let's see what the next candlestick does, because I might hop on this depending on what the next candlestick does. And the Euro GBP, that thing is ripping, which is fine. So I have a lot of pairs I'm going to be looking at, but I'm just going to focus on 80 CAD at the moment, because this looks like, for at the time being, one of the more convenient trades. This is doing a nice retracement, which is good. So I might be looking at GJ and 80 CAD. So I'm going to be looking at these two candlesticks to see what it does in the next minute. But I see GJ and AUD CAD as potential sells. That's what I see. Yeah, that thing is ripping down. Yeah, so go look at AUD CAD. Then go look at GJ. This thing retraced pretty high up too. Oh, there goes the alarm. This thing retraced pretty high up too. So maybe this, I'm going to just pay attention to 80 CAD real quick. Yeah, so I like how this looks. Yeah, I'm gonna enter. I'm going to. Yeah, I'm entering. Yeah, entering. It could retrace a little bit. It did a lot of retest right here. Then we look on the smaller time frame. It's done plenty of retests here, so I see no reason, even if it tries to retest, has a lot of walls to hit to come back to the upside. And it's already shot down this far. And it hasn't done any like rapid shooting because there's not a lot of volume in the market yet. But I'm entering this. This is going to be my first entry. Yeah, so I'm entering this right now. So I'm going to enter AUD CAD. And we're going to see what it does. So SL is going to be 89. We can say 89.65 because we got to account for spread and just to round up a little bit. So we're going to say 89.65. It's doing a retest right now, like I figured, but it's retesting off the zone. But if volume picks up, it can very much break past this wall. And after this wall, it can very easily break through a few more levels, especially when volume picks up. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and enter this. Because even looking at red folder wise, there's not a lot of stuff going on today. There's CBI going on, orange folder at 10, then 2 p.m. So there's plenty of time before anything crazy happens. So I'm going to go ahead and enter this. Let me see what GJ is doing. GJ is looking like it did a retest and looking like this might push down too. Let's see. Your JPY, I'm leaving that alone. Your AUD is looking pretty good too, but GJ, AD CAD. I'm liking how they're looking. So I entered AD CAD. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the drop the signal for this. And then we're gonna look at GJ to see what GJ is looking like. So give me 1 second. Post entry 913. SL 8965. Now, what would be the first? It's already playing here. I want to see it break past this. That'd be cool. I want to see it break to right here. If it breaks through here, then we can really get things started. Now, I probably won't shoot down till more volume comes into play, but I do believe it will be going down. So I'm just figuring out the TPs right now, but I did enter this. I want to see it at least hit the middle of the zone. Then we'll see what it does from there. Because it did a lot of retracements here and then shot up. So the first target is going to be right here. This will still be a 1 to 2 risk to reward, even entering where it's going. So yeah, I think it's going to push down. It's trying to as we speak. So go ahead and drop the signal. We're going to look back at that in a second. I like how GJ is looking. Now, your AUD is just, I want to see it push. I want to see it break past this once volume picks up. It's looking pretty good. Your CHF actually broke 2 zones, which is crazy. Your JPY is pushing back down, so I'm leaving that alone. Opportunity missed is what it is. Let's see what oil's doing. Oil's still pushing up. I'm good on that. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere here. Okay. I like how US30 is looking too. Okay. It broke this, did a nice rejection underneath the zone, pushing past this wick. I'm like how US30 is looking. I like this. It just broke past that wick. And a new 5-minute candlestick just appeared. And if US30 confirms staying under here, then US30 is definitely going to drop, which is what I want to see it do. Because it'll definitely drop if US30 continues to push down. NAS is going underneath the zone as well. Not exactly there yet, but as we can see, it is attempting on this candlestick as we speak. So we have a lot of decent looking setups for New York and London. Now let's see what EDCAD is doing. So it's still retesting this level. I'm not tripping. I'm holding it and I'm going to see what it does. You know, it's either going to hit TPs or it's either going to hit SLs, but I see it most likely continuing to push down. So New Zealand JPY. I personally closed out of this. I was doing this ranging, but anyone still holding, y'all making a lot of money right now. But I closed this trade. I closed this trade out yesterday with New Zealand CAD. So if it continues to break under, I might look for possible sales for New Zealand JPY as well. Same thing with New Zealand CAD. So I'm looking at a bunch of sales opportunities like yesterday, but that's no problem. I just look for what I see. Trying to see if there's any other opportunities or any other trades to look at. Because I had a list of things I was looking at. Because I looked at the charts before I got on here. But a lot of things just really started that move and pushed at 230, which happens, but I'm not tripping too much about it. So Euro JPY is pushing down hard. GJ is trying to push. Trying to see. 80 JPY is pushing hard. Man. Okay. So I like how GJ is looking too. So I'm gonna see what this next 5-minute candlestick's looking like. But I like how GJ is looking. Trade 30. The wick went past the previous low, which is a good sign. So yeah, this next 15-minute candlestick is going to sway my decisions based on what it does, if I'm going to enter that stuff or not. Real USD broke underneath this level, which is good. It's doing a retest. So if it continues to push down, possibly a sell setup here. Probably put the stop loss. I don't want to put it that high up. I'll probably just put it like right here. Even though the wall's right there, I'll probably just put it right here because that's a decent stop loss. I don't need a stop loss all the way up here or something like that. I'll simply just get out and look for a new opportunity if it breaks past that. US30 is still underneath the zone, so this is good. See a lot of good potential setups. But I still want to wait for confirmations to do that. And like I said, when everything's pushing, oil pushes up. So when gold and futures are pushing down, oil pushes up. But I missed the ideal entry. Like I said, we could have entered here and got in, but if it retraces, that would have been a lot of drawdown. So if I missed the opportunity of the ideal entry, it is what it is. Just leave it alone. Speaking of ideal entries, Euro GBP, well, that's the middle of the zone. So I'm going to see if it retraces off of this. And if it does, possibly Euro GBP sells. New 5-minute candlestick. GJ is pushing down still. Did a retest retracement here, and now it's pushing down. So let's see here. It retested on this wall. So I like how that's looking. 80 cast still trying. Yep, see it dropped all the way down. Huge rejection wick, and now it's retesting this level. This is why you never want to chase trades, because they'll always retrace at some point and possibly give you a second chance to catch the wave. Now, it might not happen all the time, but it does happen a lot of the time. Euro New Zealand's rejecting that level. So Euro New Zealand's looking interesting too. So there's a lot of setups for this Wednesday. Some already started. Some are retracing, giving us another opportunity. But I like how this is looking too. So depending on, I mean, it's already did the retest and it already looks like it's about to drop down. But the next 15-minute candlestick starts in 3 minutes. So I'm going to keep an eye on this stuff and see what the next 15-minute candlestick brings us. Then we're going to see if we're going to catch some money. Catch some pips. Euro cat 80 CAD still showing wants to go down, but it's just struggling at this wall, which is normal. But when volume picks up, and it's still trying to go this way, which has been showing us for a little bit for these candlesticks, then it will have no problem breaking that level. And once it breaks that level, then we'll see and go from there to see what it's going to do. But it's still looking good as of now. But we're still just 13 minutes into London session. Things can change, but as of now, things are looking okay with that. Your AUD still trying for the third candlestick to break past this level. But if it can do that, I can see it going here, or on the zone, especially if volume is really pushing. But as you can see, it's still trying, which is fine by me. Keep pushing, keep trying. Make me some more money. Your CHF retraced off that zone. Let's see here. Yeah, doing good retest. So we're going to see what the next candlestick does for us. So everything is retracing, which is good. Because again, this is just merely the market giving us another opportunity to make some money potentially, which I'm all for. Yeah, everything's retracing back up, which is good. Let's see. Well, we got new candlesticks. Looking at this, went this far yesterday, retraced at this wall. Then that previous 15-minute candlestick, it hit this wall again, broke past the previous lows, but shot back up. So things are looking very interesting. Yeah, things pushing. Could enter, but it's that wall right there. I want to see it come back up before I even mess with that. I like how Euro New Zealand's looking. Yeah, I like how Euro New Zealand's looking. Euro New Zealand might be my next target. AUD CAS doing a retrace, which is fine. Everything's retracing. AUD, New Zealand. So GBP is pushing things back up, which is fine. Euro New Zealand, I like how it's looking. I'm gonna go right back to it. Yeah, so US30 pushed back up here. So what is the NAS doing? Yeah, they're not ready to push under that zone yet, so that is fine. Still early into London. Still time for it to want to make that decision. Euro New Zealand is looking tempting. Euro GBP is tanking. Missed out on that one. Your AUD is still trying. So I like how Euro New Zealand's looking. I'm just going to wait 2 minutes to a new 5-minute candlestick appears. So I'm just going to wait to see what it wants to do, because there is volume, as we can see, but for some pairs, not too much. So I'm just trying to wait for some confirmations before we hop into some trades, because again, we're up for the week. There's no point in trying to just jump into anything. So I'm trying to make sure that's even worth putting our money into. These are both looking nice. Which one would be a better opportunity? Because the euro's kind of weak right now. Broke past this wick. 1 more minute till the 5-minute candlestick appears. But it's pushing. Now, if it can really push past that level, then it can definitely go here. And then if it breaks past that, then I see it going to the bottom of the zone. So I definitely like how it's looking. It already did a retest. It could come and do a retest again. But yeah, I like how this is looking. New Zealand's pushing down too. A lot of options today, which ain't a bad thing, but there's a lot of options to make some money, a lot of opportunities. So now I'm just trying to see which ones are most likely going to go our way, because there's a lot of opportunities right now. But I like how this one's looking. I like how this one's looking. 80 cast and a retest. Not too worried about that. Let's see what these things are doing. Still retesting. Retesting. Ready. The wick's gotten a little farther, so it's still trying. It's still trying. That's a good sign. Yeah, look at that. So this is showing us it still wants to go down here, because that's a huge rejection wick. We see the rejection wicks here too. So it's kind of struggling to see what side of the fence it wants to be on. Mainly because it's following US30 and NAS, and we can see when it shot up, that's when NAS and US30 hit the bottom of the zone and they shot up. And we see US30 doing this, but we see US30 trying. But just gonna be watching to see what side it decides to stay on for now. Yeah, your GBP is retracing. Could very much tank because as soon as it broke under, it's just been dropping. So it could very much continue to tank. GP80 is looking nice. GP New Zealand is trying to push again. That's a little too. I would like to enter. GPAUD, Euro New Zealand. Those two on my radar right now. So I want to see what this next candlestick does. Those are on my radar as of now. Yeah, this is an interesting London session, though. A lot of pumps and retracements happening. I know people that trade off smaller time frames are probably freaking out right now because that's a lot of retracements. Because again, just looking at Euro JPY, that thing dropped down 70 pips, and now it's retesting and stacking underneath this level right here, which is good. So it is potentially going to continue to push down, even though I know that still it is not where I would like to enter at. So I'm just going to leave it alone. It would have been ideal to enter here. But again, literally, as soon as I start to set up the live stream, we're live. I send the link out. I look to my and I look back at the chart. Things just ripped. Everything was ripping. But that's part of the game. But I am liking how Euro New Zealand is looking. And I like how GN is looking. I like how both of these are looking. And I like how GBP AUD is looking too. And new 5-minute candlesticks appeared. So I like how all these are looking. Not gonna lie. GA is closest to the zone though. So I like how this is looking. It already broke past those levels. So I might call this one. Because I like how it's looking. What's GPU USD doing? I like how all of these are looking. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and call this. I usually like to wait till the next candlestick, but I have a good feeling about this one. So I'm going to go ahead and enter this. So stop loss is going to be 70.90. I was even looking at bigger time frames. Yeah, I think hit the middle zone. No one is retracing, but it shot all the way back down. Like how that's looking. Yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and enter this. Stop loss is going to be 70.90. It's about 80 pip stop loss. Then what is going to be the first TP? First TP is probably going to be 95. Then we're going to go from there, see what it does from there. Yep, so I just put that signal in the free signal room channel. Going to see what that does. GN's pushing 2. I just don't like this trade because it's a little too late for me to want to enter. Yeah, we could catch some pips, but I'm just picky with my entries, and I like to be, like I said, as close to the entry as possible. So I'm fine with leaving that trade alone. So new 15-minute candlestick appeared. Let's see what the trades we're in are going to be doing. 80 CAD looks like it's going to potentially try to push back down, which is good. Euro AUD, it's doing a retest of this level again. I want to see it continue to push down. I'm still holding this low. Euro New Zealand, doing another retest. If this continues to push down, I might call this 2. So don't be surprised if I call that one out. GJ doing a retest of this level. If it continues to respect that like it's showing so far, might potentially look for sales for that. Let's see. US30 playing right here. So they're all above the zone now. They're all at the same area now, doing the same thing. So still going to be watching these, waiting for them to break under and seeing what they do after they break under. Let's see here. Yeah, so there's a lot of action before London, but since London started, it's pretty slow. Euro GBP is retracing back up, so can see a potential setup for Euro GBP, depending on what this candlestick does and the next candlesticks, because it was all the way down here. So we would have chased the trade. We'd be in a lot more drawdown than just waiting. That's why I always stress and emphasize waiting, because price will always retrace back. How many times did y'all wait 2 minutes and you see price keep pushing, so you're like, screw it, I'm about to enter. Then as soon as you enter, what happens? Price retraces to where you knew it was going to potentially retrace back to. And it's all because you're a little impatient. You missed out on some pips and more drawdown than you would like to be in, etc., etc. So GBP AUD retesting this level. If it can continue to push down, that'd be great. GBP New Zealand's doing the same thing. GBP/JPY is not really moving that much though. Let's see. Yeah, so it looks like it's going to be just a typical London session. Going to be waiting a few hours closer to New York for the move to start. But it's always good to get in on the move early, because just like I was talking to my members in the Zoom call we had last night, it's good to get up on London session because you can catch some moves. Like for example, the Euro JPY thing. Now, granted, it did retrace, but it's still, even if you would have entered off this candlestick, you're still in profit. So moves do happen early. Now, New York is just when news comes out or like the market is determined this direction is going for the day. So that's when all the volume pushes in and it keeps pushing directions going. A good example of that was US30. Again, we entered US30 at 3 a.m. In an hour, we caught 8,000 pips. And after that, it was just dropping. So if we would have waited 5 hours till New York to enter, we could have missed out on 10,000 plus pips. Same thing with SPX. We entered SPX at 5 a.m. If we would have waited 3 hours, we would have missed out on like a couple thousand pips, because all the way to here, from the entry here to here, was over 6,000 pips. If we would have waited till was in New York, we would have been probably like around here, and we would have missed out on like 1,000, 2,000 pips. So it's always important to get in early when there's still volume, but also looking at the bigger time frames to determine the direction price is most likely going to go. Keyword is most likely, because like I talked about earlier in the beginning of the stream, we do not control the markets. We're simply leaves in the current, and it's our job to determine which way the current is going so we can ride the wave, ride the momentum in order to catch pips. So AUD CAD is slowly pushing, which is good. Euro New Zealand is pushing, so that is very good. It's breaking past that. So I might call this trade out. And it's just retracing back up. So I kind of like that. So yeah, perfect time. I'm about to actually call this out. I'm about to enter Euro New Zealand. So let me go ahead and call this signal out. Now I wonder if we hit TP1 yet. I'm gonna have to check that out later. But yeah, I'm entering Euro New Zealand because I like how it's looking. SL is going to be 6930. One is going to be, sorry, yeah, it's pushing. So I want to see if it breaks past this. So this is going to be TP1. TP1 is going to be 6815. Say 15. I like how this is looking. Probably like right there. 15. And we got 6805. 3. We got this right here. Let me see at least hit here. That'd be cool. Let me see at least hit here. So I'm going to put, so you're in New Zealand. Just put it into the chat. So all the signals are going into the signal room with all the TPs, SLs, and all that. So make sure to hop in there to see the exact signals and also get notified when TPs have gotten hit. Now, speaking of TPs getting hit, everyone that entered GBP AUD should be up right now. Let's see. 6995. So TP1 got hit. It retraced a little bit, but TP1 did get hit for GBP AUD. So that's a good sign. It's doing a little retracement. Want to see the next 5-minute candlestick will continue to push it back down. I want to enter GJ. Not yet though, but I'm definitely keep going back to it because that would be a trade I would like to get on or get in, I should say. AUD CAD still struggling to break this wall, but I believe once it breaks this wall, it can go to here, it can ultimately here. So I'm still holding that because I have a lot of rules, but one of the rules trading wise that you guys need to ingrain into your heads is hold till SL or TP gets hit. Never just close a trade because you're in drawdown for a little bit or it doesn't instantly go your way. Because before you enter a trade, you should have already done a proper analysis. And also, your SL should be strategically in place to where if you're wrong, that's where your SL should be, where, okay, price comes up to here. I was most likely wrong. This is my signal and sign to get out the trade. And when you trade like that, it'll make things a lot easier because my members know there's been plenty of times, there's even a trade once on Euro JPY where it literally was 1 pip away from hitting SL and then it retraced and no lie, y'all, it smacked through all of our TPs. So that's just the power of holding your trade and seeing it all the way through. Because if you're afraid to lose money, then you shouldn't be trading regardless because hence the word risk to reward, you are essentially risking your money when you enter a trade, whether you like to admit it or not. But obviously you're risking it in order to most likely make some money, but you're still risking your money. So you got to keep that in mind and understand that. But once you understand that, you face reality and understand how the markets work, how price works, this, that, and the third, trading will become easier. It'll be less stressful. And the money will really start to come in. Your AUD is pushing. Euro New Zealand is trying to push. I want to see what the next 15-minute candlestick will do for us. GJ still showing signs it might potentially dip on us. GN, we're not in. GBP AUD is pushing again. TP1 officially hit. Just going to go ahead and let the chat know. And the money begins. So it's pushing just like I wanted to see. But again, don't get too excited because it's just not pushing. But in 3 minutes, the new candlestick appears. I waited. I don't think y'all can see it. But it's 3:42. So in 3 minutes, the next 15-minute candlestick appears. And that's when things will get interesting. And the mental games and challenges will begin. Because you're in profit now. You see price going up. Are you going to freak out and close? Do you think your move is done? Or do you see the bigger picture, understand what price is trying to do? That's what it's really going to come down to. Now, NAS100 US30, just going to have to patiently wait for them to come down because If it confirms it wants to stay underneath here, we can make some money later today, but just got to wait for it to do what it does and then determine from there if we're going to enter or not. Gold has been ranging at this level all week. It's barely dropped any. I mean, let me not say barely, because 1773 to 60, that's still like 1,000 pips. So it's been ranging in this 1,000 pip range. I ignored it on Monday. On Tuesday, I think I went for it on Tuesday. One of those days I went for it. Didn't go our way. It kept ranging right here. So when it came down to here again, I went for the sell. Came back up. SL got hit, is what it is. But now this is a better place to enter at. So potentially, maybe when volume picks up, we could go for a quick little sell set up. But as we can see from US30 and everything, it's not a lot of volume yet. So I'm not going to just jump the gun. You know what I mean? I have no issues waiting a little bit. But these are the setups I'm looking for. A little slower London session. But that's just the reality of trading. It's not always going to be action-packed. It's not always going to be, trades just hitting TPs left and right, especially with this style of trading, because we are going for the overall move and direction of price. So I went over this with the members and students yesterday, but with the strategy, you're not just catching a candlestick. Well, you are catching a candlestick, but you're catching a daily candlestick. And as you know, the bigger the time frames you go up, the more pips are in each candlestick. And this is why we're able to catch literally thousands of pips on futures and indices daily when we enter them, because of the strategy. We literally got in right here. Check out the live stream from yesterday. We literally got in right at the top of the zone, and we literally rode it to the bottom of the zone. We were in profit, floating in profit, making money all day. We entered this at 3 a.m., 3:30, beginning of London session, and rode it all the way down. We caught this entire daily candlestick. What other strategy y'all know where you can catch an entire daily candlestick, determine the entire direction of price is going to move for the day, and make some bread? Now, SPX was ranging a little bit, so we didn't catch the entire daily candlestick. Actually, that's a lie. We didn't catch this part, but when it came back under the zone, that's when we entered, and we caught the majority of the daily candlestick. We still caught like 75% of the daily candlestick, which is insane. But this is what we do all the time. It's nothing new to us. I just like to stress that out, because when you look at things from a different perspective, it will really open your eyes. So it's like, yeah, we're catching a lot of pips, but we're not just catching a lot of pips. We're literally determining the direction of price for the day. GBP AUD is dumping. I like what it's doing. I have no issues with it. We're making some money. Let me see if the next TP got hit. 6987 is where it went. So TP2 did get hit. And 46 minutes into London session, and we are making some money. We got 2 trades that are still trying. Haven't done nothing quite yet, but I'm still holding, because SL hasn't gotten hit and the TP hasn't gotten hit yet. So I'm still holding. Euro AUD finally broke past that level, so it's just pushing. So we're making some more money there. Those that are still holding SPX, y'all are just floating in profit, chilling. But it retraced right back to where I closed. So I really don't feel any regrets for closing that trade, because it's not like it dumped on us. So I'm not really tripping. Those that endured 30, y'all are up. Hella in profit, literally 30,000 plus pips in profit, even with the retracing right here, because it's hitting this wall right here. So what I'd like to see it do is retest, drop, retest, drop. That's what I'd like to see it do. Now, will it do that? We will have to wait further into London and closer to New York to see if it's going to do that. But that's what I'd like to see it do. We missed out on oil, is what it is. Rather be safe than sorry. Not too worried about that because we caught an oil play on Monday, I think. Me and the members. Actually, I think I put it in the free signal room, but we caught an oil play on Monday. So, and we caught a good amount of pips that day. So I'm not really tripping too much about it. Gold. Yeah, so I'm going to be keeping an eye on gold. Look for potential gold setups, gold sells. Euro GBP is still shooting up. Let's see. Every live stream I talk about this. Let me wait for the next candlestick. It's most likely going to retrace. And every time it does so. Now, it kept on showing us it was going to push down. But sure enough, look, it retraced all the way back up. And we have a better entry. But I'm still keeping an eye on it to see if it's going to go further up. Because again, you don't want to jump the gun. And you see it still pushing up. Now, it could reject after it hits this level, which is what it's most likely going to do. But if we would have entered here, we'd be in way more drawdown than if we would have just patiently waited for a better opportunity. And the next 5-minute candlestick is going to appear. So we're going to see what that decides to do. Euro AUD, almost in the middle of the zone. Euro New Zealand's attempting to push again. GP New Zealand, GP JPY is looking like it's trying to push again. GN, yeah, GN is down B, so we could have entered here and we could have made some money there, but I'm not tripping because we're in plenty of trades right now, and the trades we're in, we're making money too. And again, where it was at, it was in the middle of the zone. Yeah, it was underneath this wall, so it could have most likely kept pushing down. Yeah, we could have entered here, but I have my set of rules that I like to follow. So I'm okay with missing a trade because there's literally hundreds of different pairs to look at, and we're just an hour into London session, so I'm not really tripping. And we're still up from the trades from yesterday. The trades we're holding from yesterday, and so far the trades one of the trades we entered today. So I'm not tripping too much. Everything's just doing slight retracements, which is normal. Let's see here. So New Zealand USD retraced back up. So potentially maybe some sell setups for this as well. Let's see. Yeah, but we're just chilling right now. I'm going to probably take 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, definitely 6 o'clock. Things are going to really start getting interesting because more volume is going to be pumping in, especially at 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m. That's when volume gets ready to pump in before New York session. So definitely going to be paying attention to the charts at that time to see exactly what's going on. But we see US30s pushing up. We see NAS and US30 pushing up, which is exactly why when I saw US30 looking like this, I said, let me wait to see what US30 is going to do. And I talked about this yesterday too. I was like, I'm going to wait for US30 to push down before I enter US30 because they're all doing the same exact thing. Everything's doing the same exact thing. And that's not a coincidence. So, just going to be patiently waiting. We're in profit on Euro AUD. We're in profit on GBP AUD. Euro New Zealand is trying to push again. AUD CAD is ranging a little bit. But so far, still a good start to the day. So we're just going to be chilling looking at this for right now. So let's see here. This majority of trading. This is what it is. It's the secret trading. A lot of these people aren't going to show you this because they're too busy trying to distract you with materialistic things. So you don't need. I got a monitor. I just got me a new one. But realistically, you don't need a crazy setup. I do recommend getting a laptop if you can. Doesn't need to be a crazy laptop. Just needs to be a regular laptop. Get you a mouse. That's all you really need. Then of course your phone. Go on TradingView. I have plenty of videos explaining my strategy, but I also have the Advanced Play Signal Room. It's not just called the Advanced Play Signal Room. It's it's really a mentorship program as well, but it's like more of like a group thing. We have weekly Zoom calls. Of course, y'all get more signals, exclusive signals compared to the free signal room. You get exclusive videos as well as knowledge, as well as chart analysis while in trades. You get a bunch of stuff. So you're literally getting your return on investment from the signal room. Then on top of that, you're learning how to trade. So I'm not just giving you the fish that I caught, but I'm also showing you how to catch fish on your own while still handing you the fish that I caught. You get what I'm saying? So that's just one of the benefits to that. But I do have plenty of videos on my YouTube channel explaining how to read candlesticks, explaining how to identify the trend, explaining supply and demand. I also have videos talking about my trading plan, trading psychology. So definitely explore my YouTube channel. Every video is straight to the point. It's no fluff. It's all just knowledge and free game. Because if you're in this live stream, if you're in the Advanced Play Signal Room, especially, I want to see you all succeed. And you're already doing the first steps for your success, which is investing yourself. You're watching this live stream. You're investing your time into learning from me, which is, learning how to trade, learning the mindset I have while in trades, while out of trades, as well as learning things that I look for. And most importantly, looking at the bigger picture. So you're already doing the right thing. If you're watching this live stream, you're investing into yourself. And that's what you really have to do. And because again, like, just think about anything. Think about your favorite actor, your favorite athlete, your favorite celebrity, whatever the case may be. They didn't become your favorite out of nowhere. They get to where they're at out of nowhere. It was consistency. They invest in themselves and they put the time into the craft. You have to put time into anything you want if you want to see success. When you first decided to ride a bike without training wheels, you had to practice riding without training wheels, right? You didn't just hop on. Well, maybe some of y'all just got it like that, but at least for me, I fell plenty of times before I got my sense of balance. And that's just what it is. It's just practice, repetition. And when you really do that, you're going to see results. I don't care how trash you are at a sport, at a video game. If you actually invest your time, the same amount of time every day, and actually try, you're going to see improvements. It's almost impossible not to see improvements if you're consistently putting the same amount of time and effort into the same thing every day. And that's all this is. It's all just consistency, practice, building good habits, learning from your mistakes, which is another important thing. Because it's okay to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. It's okay to lose money. You're going to lose money. It's okay to over leverage. That's going to happen. Blowing accounts. It can possibly happen. I try to avoid it. I try to have everyone avoid it as much as possible. So I give disclaimers. I even have a video for the members on how to properly calculate their lot size. I also have a video on YouTube how to count pips. If you don't know how to count pips, watch it. Even if you think you know how to count pips, watch it. You still might learn something from it. And it might just confirm things you had questions about. or you were confused about. I'm going to have a video talking about spread and charges coming soon, probably later this week or this weekend. I'm going to work on that. But yeah, there's going to be a lot more content I'm going to have pushing out for free. So make sure to watch the videos already after this live stream that are uploaded. And then also like this stream, hit that bell so you're notified when I'm streaming, as well as when a new video has been dropped, because you guys don't want to miss out on that. But we see a regular retracement 2 minutes before 4 o'clock, 2 minutes before a new 5-minute, 15-minute, and 30-minute candle appear. So pretty normal stuff. Got an hour to the next 4-hour candle. But as you can see, did a retest, and literally this entire 4-hour candle dropped all the way down. So it's looking good. Broke past the previous lows, but of course, when it hit this level, it retraced back up, but now it's underneath this level. So I want to see it shoot back down, potentially. New Zealand struggling to break this level. So what I want to see is when volume picks up, it continue to push down, but those wicks are showing us that it is struggling to push that, to break that wall. GN, on the other hand, said screw that wall, and it's just dumping. GBP AUD did slight after hitting 2 TPs, which is normal because you're in the signal room. Before I send any signals out, I send this disclaimer out, which explains literally everything. So y'all should definitely read this. Obviously, the first thing is please use proper risk. All trades are meant to market execute. Every trade is not guaranteed to go all the way to the final TP or in our favor at all. Again, that's why there's a stop loss. That's why not over leveraging and proper risk comes into play. If you consistently risk 5% of your account every trade, and you lose one trade and you win 2 trades, or you lose one trade and you win 3 trades, and every trade you enter is at least a 1 to 2 risk to reward, that loss is going to get canceled out by the wins. Now, obviously, it would be nice to win every trade like we did yesterday, but that doesn't happen all the time, okay? So you have to be realistic, and you can't control the markets, right? We already went over that. You can't control the markets. What can you control? You can control when you enter a trade. You can control when you close a trade. You can control your lot size. You can control your SL. Those are all things you can control. So everything you can control, you need to do your best to control. That way, you have a higher success of making money and being profitable for the week, which is the most important thing. A bad day here, a bad day there is okay, but you want to end the week positive. That is the ultimate goal. We have 5 days to trade, 5 days for wiggle room, 5 days to make money, 5 days to fix mistakes, 5 days to learn and gain experience. But in those 5 days, at the end of the week, the goal is to be up in profit. That is the goal. Your AUD is trying to push down. Like I said, I wanted to see it do, which is great. Euro New Zealand looks like it's about to try for the 4th candlestick, actually like the 5th, 6th candlestick to push that level. There's CHF. Gonna leave that alone. Leave that alone. GJ's looking interesting. GN's still pushing. GA's pushing back down, which is perfect. Let's see what AUD CAD's doing. AUD CAD is just chilling. But this is what happened yesterday with Euro AUD and Euro CHF. When we look back to those two, hold on, let me see something real quick. 6985. think TP3 just got hit for GBP AUD. Let me just check. Almost got hit. So while that's doing this thing, let's just do a rewind of Euro AUD. This is where we entered, right? Let's just do a little bar replay. We entered right here. And literally for hours, it was just ranging. Or am I thinking about Euro CHF? Okay, well, you can see it here. It went down here, ranging. And this is the 15-minute time frame. So literally for hours, just ranging at this price for hours. And then it finally ripped at some point. But you literally see 4 hours, it got stuck in this range. Then it tried again, bounced back up, ranging, hit our entry again for the third time, then ripped. Okay, so that's why you always want to hold to SL or TPs get hit, because that happens sometimes. Euro CHF, same thing. We entered right here. You feel me? We entered right here. I'm going to speed it up a little bit. But we entered right here. You see ranging, drop down. And after it broke through that, then it ranged here, then it broke, range, then it ripped down. You see what I'm saying? So this stuff is normal, especially when you're going for the bigger move. Because again, we're not scalping here. We're trying to go for the overall direction and ultimate move up price. So there is going to be some ranging and retracements. That is part of the game, because price does not just go straight up. As we can see here, price didn't just go straight up. It had retracements. Price doesn't just go straight down. These wicks are retracements on a smaller time frame. So if I go on the 5-minute, you can see the retracements a little better. You know what I'm saying? But all these wicks are retracements, just like when we look at the candlesticks, right? So, looking at these candlesticks. This wick was the candlestick shooting up here, then it rejected and closed right here. This wick was the candlestick starting here, shot up here, rejected off this level, and now it's pushing down. We just saw here how these wicks are getting formed. Price is pushing, then rejecting. That's how these wicks are getting formed. So you literally have to understand why everything's doing what it's doing. Everything price does on every chart is doing it for a reason. You just have to be able to identify what that reason was. But once you can identify what that reason was, that is when the money starts to come in. AD CAD is going for another attempt. Yeah, I should have called GBP New Zealand as well, but it is what it is. Let's look at gold. Gold is looking nice. New 5-minute candlestick, and it's pushing. Kind of like how this is looking. Not gonna lie, even though these pairs are playing around, kind of like how this is looking. And oil is retracing a little bit. That's kind of concerning me, but I like how it is looking. We can definitely catch a few hundred pips. 1,000 would be nice. But we can definitely, I can see us definitely catching a few hundred pips off this. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I'm definitely gonna keep an eye on gold because I don't want to miss the move like what happened last time. So I'm about to bring this over to my other screen to just keep a little eye on that while I look at some other stuff. So GA retracing again, which is normal because, like I said here, when a TP is hit, it'll either reject or break through. So keep an eye on your charts, which is why I do my best to notify y'all when a TP gets hit so y'all can do so and make sure that you secure your money. Especially those that aren't able to look at a chart and see exactly what is going on. But again, it's still early into London. So I like how gold is looking. So I might enter. Like I was looking. I might definitely enter this soon. So like I was looking. So depending on this next 5-minute candlestick, depending on if it breaks past this level, I might wait till the next 15 minute, but on the next 5 minute, if it breaks past this level, I might enter depending on those two things. Now we see Euro GBP, like I was talking about before. Said we could have entered, but I want to wait to see if it's going to retrace more. And sure enough, it is still retracing. It's almost at the ideal entry. So this would be a good place to enter. As well. New 5-minute candlestick just popped up. It looks like it's going to keep trying to dive down. Just normal. Euro New Zealand. So Euro's just retracing right now, which is cool. All the Euro pairs are shooting up. Which is cool. All right, so we're just going to leave that alone. GBP pairs are pushing up too. Yep. Yeah, so this is a chill London session so far. Nothing too crazy. Some quick action at 2:30. But after that, it chilled out. Kind of faked people out. Because again, if we would have entered on this candlestick, we'd be in drawdown right now. If we would have entered on any of these candlesticks, we'd be in drawdown right now. You get what I'm saying? So that's why you gotta stay composed in these markets. That's why you can't freak out and think you're about to miss an opportunity, because you might miss one, but there's always other opportunities. You get what I'm saying? So it's better to wait for the best entry in high quality trades than to try to jump at everything you see on your screen. And this is just the prime example of why you don't do so. Just like US30. It was looking good, but look, if we would have entered right here, we would be in drawdown. So never want to jump the gun too early. Never want to skip your rules, because all those are bad habits. And if you continually do that, you're going to continually build bad habits. So don't want to do that, y'all. You want to build good habits. Good habits is how you make money in these markets. Consistently just doing shit will ruin your markets, will discourage you, and you'll blow your accounts. Trust me, I've blown plenty. I know what I'm talking about. It will happen if you do not stay composed in these markets. So the USD is looking nice. So yeah, we're just chilling right now. We're going to be waiting for volume to pick up. It's probably not going to pick up until the next couple hours, which is normal. Probably 5, 6 o'clock is when volume is going to pick up. But we're in some trades right now. Some is in a little drawdown. We got some TPs that got hit. Missed a few opportunities. But we saw a lot of good things on this stream because that's part of the game. Opportunities getting missed is part of the game. Patiently waiting for opportunities is part of the game. Drawdown is part of the game. And of course, TPs getting hit are part of the game. And the best part of the game is seeing TPs getting hit. So let's go back to gold. Yep. And look again. So I was going to wait to see what the next candlestick does. I'm glad I waited because if we would have entered right there, we'd be in drawdown. It's retesting this level right here. So on the next 15-minute candlestick, which is in 1 minute, I want to see what it's going to do and if it's going to convince me to enter the trade or not. So that's what I'm doing right here. So I hope these live streams are helping y'all out, not just with, entering trades as close as possible to as when I enter trades, but also the main important thing, seeing how the markets actually work in real time and just seeing the importance of patience. So that's the main thing I want y'all to pick up from these videos is how I look at the candlesticks, how I look for opportunities, and then of course making money on the side is just a bonus. Now I like how your GPP is looking. I might call this to new candlesticks have arisen. Euro New Zealand finally closed where these wicks are. So what I want to see is what I talked about before, good retest of this level and then a push down. That's what I'd like to see. BJPY still stuck in that level. GBAUD doing the same thing as Euro New Zealand. Euro AUD doing the same thing, just a retest. So we're in the middle of the zone. So that's also a reason why Euro AUD is doing what it's doing. So let me go ahead and let the members know that we're in the middle of the zone of Euro AUD. Euro AUD in the middle of the zone. And if you don't know what the zone is, these are the zones. So in between these lines are the zones. Now the members and students know what I mean by when I notify them, we're in the middle of the zone, we're at the top of the zone, we're at the bottom of the zone. They know exactly what that means. But that is why price is doing what it's doing, because we are in the middle of the zone. Now gold still ranging just like NAS100 and US30. So I'm going to leave those alone. Euro JPY, it's looking like it's about to drop again. But like I said before, I'm leaving that alone. Euro GBP, on the other hand, that is free game. And I like very much how it looks. So just going to double check my analysis. In the bullish, failed to break underneath here, broke that previous low, basically filled this up, hit this wall. So the question is, filled this up, which is cool, hit the middle zone, rejected. So the question is, do hit that, rejected? Okay. Okay, like how this is looking. Yeah, I like how this looks. I like how this looks. Just going to keep an eye on it to see. And then what were my TPs for New Zealand? 68.15. Do we even hit that? Oh, we did hit TP1 for Euro New Zealand. I just wasn't paying attention because we were in the stream, but TP1 did get hit. So let me notify them that TP1 did get hit. Cool. But I like how Euro GBP is looking. Not gonna lie, I like how this looks. Liking how gold is looking, even though these things are doing what they're doing. I like how gold's looking. US oil is retracing though. That's one thing I don't like. But I like how gold's looking. I like how your GP's looking. Your AD showing signs wants to continue to push down, like I was saying before. Euro New Zealand still in the middle of that process we just talked about. GPAUD doing the same thing still. AUD CAD still ranging on top of this level. Nothing too crazy. But my next two trades I'm gonna be looking at is gold and Euro GBP. Okay, bet. So I'm glad the live stream is working. Yeah, it's going to just get better as the days go by too. Both the live stream, the quality. I'm gonna start working on some new things. But the one thing I really wanted to do was just get started. I just wanted to get started live streaming, and then I'll tweak things as the days and weeks go by. But I just wanted to definitely start doing it, especially for the members, so y'all can really grasp and understand what I look for. Because it's easy to explain things after the move happened, but there's another thing to see, what I look for before the move happens and how I'm acting while I'm in trades and stuff like that. So it's definitely another side of the trading. The new 5-minute candle just started. I like how it's looking. I like how your GBP is looking. It's really speaking to me. It's really enticing me to enter. It's really talking to me right now. But I'm still going to patiently wait. I do like how it's looking though. Not going to lie. But struggling a little bit because, like we saw in the daily time frame, how it's still kind of overall bullish momentum, but it's failed to break those levels so far. Like, this is the furthest it's gone. Yesterday went up there, then it broke back down, then dipped. It was definitely on this side more than this side. If we just look at it and split it up, this side more, they're obviously rejected and went back up here, but did a retest as we can see here. The daily candlestick's been red as of now. So I would like to see price hit here at least. Here would be awesome. that's what I am looking for and looking at. Euro AUD's pushing. Euro New Zealand's pushing. GBP AUD's pushing. So we're only really waiting for AUD CAD to get its act together. That's the main thing. And of course, Euro New Zealand to do more. But GBP AUD is doing decent. Slight retracements, but that is part of the game. Because these are good signs right here. We just need it to not pop back up. Stay pushing down. This one is still retesting this level. EDCAD still stuck in that range. Gold still ranging. Yeah. Just gonna be chilling on these. Because again, this is a very sensitive area right here. So it can very much shoot back up here. Now when it comes up here, it could potentially attempt to finally fill this up. Or it could shoot up here, then shoot back down. Or it can hit here, then shoot back down. Or what I'd like to see it do and avoid all of that is come back down here, then shoot down. But like I said before, we have to wait and see what price is trying to do. And as we look, price is pushing up for the most part as of now, for those pairs at least. Same thing with gold. Your GBP is dropping some more. So your GBP is tempting me, but I can wait 4 minutes. I can wait 4 minutes for the next candlestick to see what the next 15-minute candlestick is going to do. But everything's pushing down again, which is great. GJ is still stuck in that range. I really want to trade GJ, so I'm waiting for that to break out of that little box it's in. But just chilling, really. Looks like most of the stuff will begin its move pre-New York, which is pretty standard. But yeah, we're just chilling for now. Looking at other pairs, but yeah, everything's really doing the same stuff. It's just ranging. Yep, gonna see what 3 minutes to the next candlestick. Gonna see what that candlestick does to see if we're gonna receive another cue to enter a trade. Yep, but glad we didn't enter J30 because we'd be in drawdown. It's almost at the SL that I have marked up. So Pretty good thing that we did not enter and jump the gun too early on that. Same thing with gold, because we saw all those retracing, which is why I stress looking for multiple confirmations so much. You don't just want to simply, because it hit the zone and it broke underneath. Let me use the mouse. You don't want to just be like, because it hit the zone and broke underneath. That means it's a sell. Because look at that huge rejection wick. Then shot back up. You want to wait for multiple candlesticks. Like with this trade, for example. I didn't jump in on this candlestick. I waited for another retest. I waited for another confirmation to show that it wants to continue to push down. Then I entered. Because very well could have did what US30 did here, which is after hit under here, retest, then shot back up. You get what I'm saying? So you want to wait for multiple candlesticks to find multiple confirmations, just like this. Now this one ranged a little bit, but I still didn't enter just because it broke under. I waited for multiple retests to enter that trade, just like Euro New Zealand. Now this one's a little bit different because it kind of just dumped, but I didn't enter here. I waited for the retest to get as many pips as possible, so we're in the least amount of drawdown as possible as well. Just like GBP AUD, waited for the retest after the huge dump to get the closest entry to the zone as possible, so we're in the least amount of drawdown as possible, the smallest SL as possible, which also increases our risk to reward. This AD cat is still trying. It's trying its best. Just looking at the other pairs to see what they're doing, but most likely not entering anything else as of now. Doing a retest still. See, your GBP is doing a retest, but it looks like it's about to try to drop down. Gold's looking like it's going to try to drop down. Yeah, so we're going to see, y'all. But as of now, holding the trades we're in. Going to be looking for gold, GJ, setups possibly. If this is your first time to the channel, make sure to like the stream. Make sure to subscribe. Check out my other videos. Make sure to join the free signal room. And I'll see y'all tomorrow in the next live stream. But like I said, I still have some potential setups. I'm still going to look at the charts, all London and New York session. So these might not be the only signals I call out. They may be the only signals I call out. But make sure to join that free signal room so y'all know when I enter the next trade. But yeah, I'm going to be just chilling right now, holding these trades, watching them, seeing what they're doing. Let's see here. So yeah, I like your GBP, so I might call that out. Not gonna lie. Yeah, so don't be surprised if you see your GBP signal get called out. Because I like how it's looking. It's like all the Euro pairs are dropping right now. It's very interesting. but we're still in plenty of trades right now. Caught out 3 trades so far. Still in a couple trades from yesterday. So starting London session off to a great start. If y'all want to contact me, you can contact me. I have my contact info in the description. Instagram is the same as the YouTube name, Playmaker_way. I'm just type it right here for y'all. So Playmaker_way. That's my Instagram. You can contact me there. Or if you join my free signal room in the Telegram, which is the first link in the description, and then you click the info. I think I can pull it up here. You can contact me there, like it says, or you can contact me on my Telegram right here. I respond to all questions. I have everybody back up in a decent timely manner, and there are no dumb questions, but definitely hit me up there if you have any questions. I also do one-on-one mentorships as well. With the one-on-one mentorships, you'll have access to the Advanced Place Signal Room's mentorship. Well, not the Advanced Place Signal Room mentorship, but the Advanced Place Signal Room, where you'll get all the extra signals as well as those weekly Zoom calls. We have 3 Zoom calls in that. But with the one-on-one mentorships, you also get additional 2 weekly Zoom calls, strictly just you. Those are recorded as well, and you get those recordings at the end of the session, and those recordings you keep. And then, of course, like I said, you get into the Zoom calls with the rest of the group that's in the Advanced Play Signal Room. And then on top of that, you get all the signals. So definitely, you have questions about that, hit me up about that. But I'm really just paying attention to this stuff right now. Yeah, I like Euro GBP. I like what it's doing. So I'm gonna call this out right now. Yeah, I like those. Yep, I like those. So I'm selling right now. SL is going to be 87.80. So I like to round up. So let's just do 87.80. Now, it can definitely retest off this level and retrace. So don't be surprised if you see that happen. But as of now, I am entering 87.80. Yep, I am entering right now. And I saw another opportunity too. So let me hurry up and put these TPs so I can look at what else I just saw. But yeah, I'm entering this right now. It's underneath this level. It could definitely retest. But yeah, I'm entering this as we speak. And again, my TPs are based on, well, the members know what my TPs are based on, but depending on where your entry is, depends on how many pips your TP will be or how many pips up you will be from that. But it is dipping, so I hope y'all entered because I did enter. I'm just trying to figure out the TPs as of now. I got them down right now. So of course, the first checkpoint is to break past the previous lows, which is right here. If we can break past those, then we can really get things going and started. So this would be the ultimate entry right here. I mean, the ultimate TV, well, not the ultimate TV, but this would be a good checkpoint. And then from there, we'll see how price is looking. And then we'll go from there. So I'm about to put the TPs into the chat. But I could have sworn I was just looking at another pair that I liked what was going on. So I'm trying to figure out what I was just looking at. But got that down. I was just looking at something. What was I looking at? Oh, I think it was this. I think I was supposed to be looking at this. Was it this? So new 5-minute candle is about to pop up. We're going to see what it does. But slight retracements going on some of the trades. Other trades are trying to push. But we're just an hour and a half into London session. So no surprise there. GBP AUD is retracing. Trace back to entry. So if y'all didn't get wicked out, just hold to SL or until it retraces back down because it's retesting this wall right here. So it could very much still push back down. But like I said here, I send this out literally before I send any signals out. And it's the same thing I send out every morning. So please read this because this will stop you from losing money, more money than you need to, because the goal is to make money. So I might put multiple TPs, but not every TP is guaranteed to get hit, and price is not guaranteed to go away at all in general. So never just over leverage or put all your eggs in one basket and bet everything off of one trade. You should still risk the same percentage every trade as I put here. Because again, we're here to make money. We're not here to lose money. So if SLs do get hit, I want to make sure that y'all are not losing more money than y'all should and that y'all properly are entering trades. So that is it. Euro GBP is pushing still. Euro AUD is still stuck in this range, but we're still in profit. Euro New Zealand still in this range, but it's still trying. GJ still watching it. Not going to enter yet. Harsh retracement up these. But then you can also see GJ didn't really do that. Slight retracements, but not as harsh as that one. So that's showing that GBP just picked up some volume. Yeah, but I don't really see any other setups as of now. So I'm just going to be watching the charts and observing the trades that we're in. And of course, keep an eye on US30, US30 and NAS to see if there's possible opportunities to make some money off of those trades. But as far as everything else, they're not where I would like them to be. And that thing just shot all the way up, which is why, again, TPs stand for take profit. That's what TP stands for. TP stands for take profit. SL stands for stop loss. So if your SL gets hit, that means stop the loss, aka stop the loss of dollars that you're negative. So close the trade. TP, when the target price gets hit, TP means take profit. So the TPs are literally checkpoints and notifications when I send the text out that TP got hit to secure your profits or close the trade. Because again, we can see it's trying to push back down, but it very much so could shoot all the way back up to here or hit SL. So never be greedy. What is guaranteed is the pips you are up, but those pips can very much quickly disappear. as I'm pretty sure y'all have experienced in the past, just like I've experienced in the past. So the blue number on your screen, I tell my members this all the time, the blue number on your screen is not yours. It is not guaranteed, and it's not yours until you move SL in profit or until you close the trade. So definitely keep that in mind, because especially when I first started trading, I used to get comfortable just because I was up a few pips, but I didn't secure my profits. So just as quick as I was up, it quickly went down and disappeared. And speaking of going down and disappearing, I believe TP1 just got hit. Now, it wasn't a big TP, but TP1 did get hit. So for the ones that was in the live stream, it was a bigger pip profit than the ones that got the signal late, but TP1 did just get hit. So far, every trade besides AUD CAD has hit some TPs. So literally so far for the day, we are 3-0. This trade, AUD CAD is still going. Like I said, I always hold the SLRTP. It's still doing its thing. But as far as trades we're in, every trade has hit a TP so far. Slight retracements, but so far still a good day. Especially just being an hour and some change into London session. Now gold, starting with the red candle, still underneath this level of price, which is a good sign. Retested, rejection wick, which is a good sign. So I might call a trade out. Not at this moment though, because I still need to be convinced it's going to go down. It's looking like it though, but I'm still going to hold on calling or entering that as of now. Red candle, red candle. Yeah, so things are looking pretty good. Slight retracements here and there, but for the most part, things are still pushing in our direction. So we're just going to see what pre-New York and New York session does for us. If the script's going to get flipped on us, or the momentum and volume is going to push in and just make everything rip like it did yesterday. So that's what we're going to wait on to see. All right. So I'm going to be sticking to the trades. I'm going to be sending some chart analysis in a couple of hours to the members. And then I'm still going to be keeping an eye on gold, as well as US30 NAS100 for potential entries on those. And then I still want to see if GJ is going to do something, which we see it kind of trying to do something right now. So yeah, gold and GJ possibly for sales. And then I'm going to be keeping a look at the indices. But unless I see some other opportunities arise, this is pretty much the trades I'm going to be in for the day. Just going to be holding these trades, seeing how they do. It is Wednesday, middle of the week, so a lot more volume is going to be in the markets for sure. But as always, that doesn't really change my trading plan. I'm still going to be waiting for opportunities, still going to be securing profits, still not going to be chasing trades, still not going to be rushing into anything. And yeah, we're going to go from there. But so far, so good for London session. So far, so good for London session. Euro and GBP have some volume picked up, which is fine. But we're going to see what it do. We're going to see what it do. Yeah, so yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I'm just going to be holding these trades and possibly seeing if there's any other opportunities. But I'm going to see y'all in tomorrow's live stream. Appreciate y'all that are in here watching. Make sure to like the stream. Make sure to check out the other stream from yesterday. Check out my YouTube videos. Also follow me on Instagram because I'm going to start posting on there again. I took a little break, like a week break. I'm going to start posting on there. I post exclusive videos on there about trading tips. Some stuff you will see on YouTube, some stuff you won't see on YouTube. So make sure to follow my Instagram as well. Like I said, Playmaker_way. Playmaker_way. Make sure to join my Signal room. First link in the description. You can contact me on Telegram. But we're out.